dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:01. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Madison Pergram.
Thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning. And Madison and I have talked about it yesterday and today already. It's just been a rough couple of weeks as far as hot temperatures go.
It's like we can't get a break. Yeah. It's every day through the evening.
And for once you're thinking, I would like some rain.
Yes, and I never thought I'd say that, but I'm saying it now.
Exactly. So good thing we're not going to the beach anytime soon. Well, it would be nice to go to the beach. Let's bring Kelly this morning. Kelly, you've said that maybe there's a chance of rain, but how realistic is it?
I mean, we do have a stray chance for rain heading into this afternoon, but you know, the trend has been dry, so better chances for us to see no rain, but we do have a little bit of chance. However, we're starting off on a dry note this morning, and out the door of our WYMT studios, we're looking at a pretty calm scene, not a lot of fog out there this morning, and satellite and radar, we have been clear overnight, just a few passing clouds here and there. Overall, no sign of rain heading into this morning. Temperatures, we are in those low to mid 60s, so waking up a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still a little bit on the warm side. So overall, those temperatures feeling pretty good this morning, but heading into this afternoon, we are seeing those warm temperatures again, and we do have a little bit of a rain chance. I'll break down those details in just a little bit, guys.
All righty, Kelly, thank you. Well, we now know the name of the man killed in a crash in Perry County on Friday. State police say 47-year-old Timmy Coots was driving along Kentucky 463 when he crossed the center line. He hit a dump truck, then went into a curve in the wrong side of the road and hit another dump truck. Coots died at the scene. 2 others in the car with Coots were airlifted to the hospital, but are okay. Police say they suspect Coots was impaired.
And on Tuesday, thousands came together in West Virginia in a show of unity to honor Alex Miller. Alex Miller was a senior football player at Rowan County High School. He was playing in a game on Friday night when he collapsed and later died. Thousands of people from all over West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio participated in a maroon out. Some schools that participated held a moment of silence, while others stood on their football fields and took pictures in the shape of a number 80, which was Alex's number on the football team.
Well, health department officials say flu activity has come early this year, with cases and deaths already seen in other parts of the country.
Yeah, and they say the best way to prevent the flu is through vaccination. However, this year there is a delay in rolling them out.
WYMT's Hannah Reynolds has more.
The flu killed 189 people in Kentucky last year.
The flu is a very contagious disease. Typically it starts in October and lasts through about May.
This year, health department officials say flu activity is starting a little early, as it is already prevalent in other parts of the country. They say cases and deaths have already been reported. Regardless of if you have had the flu vaccination or not, it is up to each person to stop the spread. Some of the quickest ways to stop the spread are also the easiest.
The first thing I would say is to be sure wash your hands, and wash your hands.
And make sure when you are washing your hands, you are doing so for a full 20 seconds. The Centers for Disease Control say there was a delay in selecting the H3N2 strand for the vaccinations. With the early timeline, health departments are urging everyone 6 months and older to get vaccinated as they become available.
I've received an email that we will be receiving our first shipment within the next couple of days, and so as soon as we have those, we will start.
The vaccinations are typically covered by insurance, but if not, the Laurel County Health Department offers them for $25, a low price to pay to possibly save a life. In Laurel County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you suspect you have the flu, you should go to the doctor as soon as possible.
Or go to an urgent care facility if your doctor is not available.
Well, the Pike County Sheriff's Office recently bought 3 new SUVs. Sheriff Rodney Scott says it was made possible by the surplus his department carried over into the new budget year. Scott says the department returned the surplus to the fiscal court, as it always does, and the court then decided to return it to the department for the purchase of new vehicles. Many of the older ones are worn out and not capable of going into some of the more remote places in Pike County. The department hopes the new vehicles will eliminate that new issue.
We have a lot of elderly people here, maybe in the wintertime, if we was to get a snow or something that we could get to them, maybe just taking their medicine to them, just something to be able to help them.
Scott says he is grateful to the fiscal court for noticing the need in the department and allowing them to fill it.
And yesterday was the grand opening for Gordman's, a new department store that took over the former Goodies building in Cole Run. An official ribbon cutting ceremony was held this morning to welcome a line of customers into the store. The first 100 customers were entered into a raffle and given a free tote bag. A donation of $1,000 was presented to Pikeville High School during the ribbon cutting. This was one of 17 store openings across the country during the Gordman's grand opening tour celebration.
2 Laurel County parents face criminal abuse charges after deputies say they found the couple's 4 children living in filth. Deputies say Christopher and Brandy Bowling were being evicted from their home. Photos show the trash filling each room. On their arrest citation, deputies said the house was unfit for living conditions for the couple's 4 children. They range in age from 2 to 12. We will take a closer look at this at 6:30 right here on Mountain News this morning.
And 2 middle schoolers in Floyd County are now facing felony charges after being accused of bringing knives to school. Last week, deputies with the Floyd County Sheriff's Office were alerted to a potential safety concern at John M. Stumbo Elementary School.
Both 13-year-old 8th grade girls are charged with possession of a weapon on school property, while one is also charged with terroristic threatening. Identities will not be released due to their age. No court date is set.
And Kentucky is looking for volunteers to help children in foster care. The Administrative Office of the Courts is looking for people to review the children's cases and to find permanent homes as quickly as possible. To be on one of these boards, you need to apply online and complete a 6-hour training session. Several counties in eastern Kentucky need volunteers, and you can find that list on our website at WYMT.com.
Well, we have our favorite memories and stories to tell, and some of us about growing up in eastern Kentucky.
But one woman from Leslie County decided to publish a book about her tales from the Wendover community.
WYMT's Katie Cook sat down with her to learn more.
Growing up in the hollers of eastern Kentucky.
We were in the creeks, we were in the hills. It's just a different mindset.
A mindset Amy Brudnicki wanted to make sure was never forgotten.
For years, everybody thought that was a flaw and, that had ruined the picture, but it actually worked out perfect for my book.
From making mud pies for coal miners.
And then I have people who say, I didn't grow up anything like that.
To eating her grandmother's homemade cornbread dressing.
And that's why I tell my stories, so I can show them a side of life that they're not used to.
She wrote down everything.
These are the hollers and hills that built me.
And she's encouraging others to do the same.
I would love it if it inspired someone to write their own stories. And I would love it if it inspired someone to tell their own stories.
Because there is no stopping time.
This is actually a picture at Wendover at the Garden House.
And to make writing easier, Amy Brudnicki has another book.
At the top of each page, I have a question, and all you have to do is answer it. Can you swim, and who taught you? There's things in your life that you don't even realize are stories.
Stories, or echoes of the past, as Amy calls it, you will want to remember for years to come. In Wendover, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, Amy Brudnicki is having a book signing, reading, and tea event at the Big House Bed and Breakfast in Wendover this Saturday at 4 in the afternoon. Both of those books are available on Amazon.
Temperatures outside on this Wednesday morning, not looking too bad. Those low to mid 60s throughout the region. 63 in Williamsburg right now. Richmond, you are at 61. Jackson at 65 this morning. Pikeville 64. Prestonsburg, you are at 63 degrees as you step out the door. A little bit of visibility reduced heading into Prestonsburg, Harlan, Monticello, Williamsburg, but overall not too much fog out there this morning. In those valley regions, just be very careful and give yourself a little bit of extra time. We do have a slight rain chance heading into this afternoon. I think the best chance is in the Cumberland Valley region, but hey, any chance is a chance we will get because it has been dry for quite some time. Those temperatures, they'll be warm, and I'll have more details in my forecast coming up in just a little bit, guys.
Alrighty, Kelly, we'll be back with you. Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning.
More news is on the way.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is heading over to Saudi Arabia following the attacks on oil facilities there.